Welcome to the Destiny Suite channel. My name is Lucrece Guzma, and I'm here to serve you with the resources you need to grow in the Lord, in your business, and life. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to edit your blog main page, your blog post templates, and also show you how to insert your blog posts and format them so they can all look consistent on your website. You can use this technique on any Elementor page, but the template that we'll be using in this video is called the Classy Minimalist, and it can be found at www.destiny31.co. It was designed for those who need a simple e-commerce solution and a website that has blog capabilities. So to access your blog main page, you're going to go to Pages, and then you're going to search for the blog main page, and you're going to click on Edit with Elementor. Now this is the main page that people will see when they click on blog. This is like to put anything that's important to your blog. You can put this on this main page. So that's the landing page for that. So I'm going to show you how to simply edit this any way you want. And I'm going to use the example we've been using in the past few videos of our bakery. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So this is what we did with our blog. Notice this blog had an image and things like that, but we decided not to do that. We wanted to keep it simple, so we just removed it. And you can add and remove different things if you want. Like there was a divider here. We decided to add a divider. And to do that, we just duplicated it, which I'll show you how to do. All right, so let's talk about that. There was a divider there. So to duplicate it, what we did, we hovered over the little pencil thing over the widget, and we right-clicked it. And you'll see the word duplicate. And then what it does, it duplicates it. Now to edit the style of the divider, you can change the width to how short and how long you want it. You could change the alignment if you want it left centered. So maybe if you want something like this in the center or to the right, you can also do that as well. If you want to do that, that's up to you. All right. You can decide what style, if it's solid, double, dotted, curly. There's lots of different things you can try. Okay, so you can do that. Also, you can add an element. You can also add text to it if you want, meaning in the middle you can put hello and welcome. You could add text to it, and then in the style tab you can style it the way you want. So for example here, you could set the weight. I put it at 2 to match everything that's on the website. I changed the color here. You can put a gap. The gap is the space between the top and the bottom. For the text, which is the text in the middle. If you don't put text, this is not going to show up, but if you do it, it will. So we're going to change that to white so they can see it, just so you can see how it looks. And we're going to change that to railway. And let's make it all caps just like the bottom. So this is just an interesting way. You could change the weight to something a little bigger. You could do letter spacing to match. So there's lots of stuff you can do. Okay. So you could do hello and welcome and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, so you could learn. If you want to delete a widget, you hover over the pink pencil again, and you can right click and just scroll to delete and remove the one you want. I think this is pretty cool. If it's too much, you don't have to put it, but I just wanted to show you some possibilities with the divider. We already know how to edit the text blocks, so I will not go into that. And of course, you should already know how to do edit the background, the style. So we decided to go with pink. So we chose the background type, which is classic, and we changed the color. If you want an image, you can just go ahead and put an image here. Okay, so similar to what's on the template. All right, so that's how you edit the header. Next, we're going to scroll down here where we're going to edit the portion where our blog articles are. So if you need to edit the header here with the line, you can just click on the widget, go to advanced, and you can remove the line, or you can put it back if you want. So it's up to you if you don't want a line. But I just wanted to show you where to do that. Now this widget right here, this is where the blog articles are populated as you build them. So you can do a lot of things here. You can style it the way that matches your branding. So you can decide if you want a classic skin, if you want cards, which look like this, if you want to do that. You could change the number of columns. And yeah, you could do lots of things with that. You can also do full content if you want full content, which I don't recommend. But since this is like a synopsis of what's coming, you can put that here if you want. Okay. So I think that's a cool way to put that. You can decide where to put the image. If you want top, left, which they won't see, right, which is weird, but it depends where you put it. None. If you don't want any pictures, you just want the articles, that's up to you as well. You could do that. You could change the image size. We recommend 300 by 300 because it's the smallest, since this is just a summary of the blog articles. You could change the image ratio, the image width. Like I said, it's all up to you. Now you can decide what you want to show. You can show a title or not show the title. Maybe you just want to put the pictures and then they could click on it. But, giving a title might give the reader an indicator of what to find. If you want to show this excerpt, a little briefing to show how much, what the article is about, you can do that as well, but you can take that out. You can decide how long the excerpt is. Maybe you only want 10 words. So you can shorten that if you feel that's enough, or 15 words maybe. Okay, so you could decide whatever you'd like on these things. All right, so you can explore these options and see which one works for you. Now, metadata are things like if you want the date, the comments, and things like that. You don't have to put comments. I don't think comments are good here, or maybe the number of comments. That'll be great if you want. Um, you could also put the time, the author, and things of that nature. You can put a separator between them. Maybe you can decide what separator you want. Maybe you don't want these 3 lines. Maybe you want a pipe to separate that. So that works. So there's lots of things you can do here. Now, as far as query is concerned, like we learned in the previous post with our products, you can do a query as well with blogs. So in this case, you could include everything by the author. You can also include by a term. Maybe you just want a specific category on the homepage. That's up to you. But I recommend just leaving it at author, since it can populate different categories so the user can use it. All right. So yeah, you could arrange by date. You know, you could order descending, meaning from oldest to newest, or newest to oldest. And you can ignore sticky posts. You could put that as well. Pagination is basically how you want it to go. Do you want numbers? Do you want it to have previous and next? That's up to you. Do you want a page limit? Things like that. You can go through that and set that up the way you want. Now, as far as the styling, of course, you go to the styles tab. You can decide how much gap you want between the style here. So maybe you want 40. You can increase the gap if you want. You can decrease it if you'd like. So that's up to you. We'll put it back at 30. Um, you could decide the rows as well, how much gap you want between the rows. And then the box is basically editing the section where the image and the excerpt and the title is. So you could decide how you want to do that. If you want a box shadow, if you want a background color to the box, that's up to you. So like if you wanted a background color and you wanted to put that, that's up to you. You don't have to do it, but I just wanted to show you that it's there. And of course, if you're going to put a background color, make sure you put padding so there's space. Because notice here, it's very important to put padding in design because it helps things look more orderly on your page. So this right here, it doesn't look really good with this at the edge. So you have to put at least some padding. You can do regular padding, which is this. And this regular padding, it provides padding for the whole section. Or if you just want the content to have padding, you could go to content padding and it will provide padding here all around. So let's talk about the image, how to edit the image if you want. So here in the image, I decided to put a border radius to match the styling of the site. So notice my edges are curved, but if you don't want that, you can remove that. Also the spacing. The spacing is the spacing between the image and the excerpt text. So you can do that as well. Um, if you want different CSS, which I don't recommend playing around with, but if you want to, you can do that. Different effects for hover. It's all up to you. Now, content, which is right here, you decide the colors, the typography, and the metadata, which is the date. That's what metadata means. And the other pieces of information that's important for the article, you can put that there. An excerpt, you can go ahead and put that in there. Typography, you decide to put whatever you want. The read more button, you can decide what you want to do with that as well. So there's lots of things you can do with this. Of course, pagination, you could decide how you want it to look. Normal, you could choose the color. We're going to do white and then hover. You could choose a hover color. We'll do teal. And when it's active, it could be pink. It's all up to you how you want to do that. And you could put space between the pagination. That means going from one blog post to another blog post. All right. So remember, once you're done, you click on update to update your changes. The next block is the email list. So I'm going to go straight to the form since we already know how to do these. So in the form, you can edit your form fields here. Make sure you put the type, which is text. Make sure you put the label, the name, and the style. You'll get to decide whether you want to show the label or not, but the placeholder. And if you want it required, you can put that. And what that does is when the person probably doesn't put a name and they just put an email, a message will pop up and say this is required. So you can do that information. Normally, these forms are like the fields are like um, vertical, they're not inline. So to put them in line, what we did was made sure that the first field was 30%. And then we went to email and did the same thing. The second field is 30%. And then on the buttons, we made sure the width was 40% to try to put everything on one line. But if you want something vertical where the name, the email, and the submit button is this direction, you can do that as well by removing it. So let me show you what I mean. So let's say you want this to be 100. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to stretch out the whole section here. And then you could do that as well and make this 100. You could do that. And then of course you go to the buttons and you do the same thing up here in column width. And so you could have it look like that. All right. So if you don't want that, you could just go back, revert. So you could decide how much percentage of anything you want. I like to maximize space on the page and make everything a little simpler. So you can go ahead and do whatever you'd like on your page. Okay. So that's the possibilities of what you can do with the blog. All right. Next is the sidebar. Now, the sidebar is different because the sidebar appears on every single page of your blog. So when we start editing the template, I'm going to show you what I mean. So this is like a good place to put like maybe ads or things that always happen, or maybe some events that you're having and you want to highlight it. This is a good place to put that information about yourself, your favorite articles, maybe some important things that you want. So sidebars are pretty beneficial for that. So to edit the sidebar, you're going to go ahead and hover over it and click on that pink pencil. And then notice you can't edit it inside here. It has to be edited in its own page. So you're going to see where it says blog sidebar official template. You're going to click on edit template. Now, let me warn you, when you go in here, it's not going to look the same. So you're going to have to kind of go back and forth and see how it looks to edit. So what you can do is go back here and see what changes you want to make. And then you would do that here. So to edit your image, simply just go here, change your image to whatever you'd like. And that's that. You'll have that set up for you. Of course, you can edit your text. You can edit your information. You can also edit this heading, which also has a border at the bottom, which you can find in advanced again, just for review. Advanced border. If you want to change the type of border or the weight or the style or remove it altogether, this is where you go. Now, as far as the posts are concerned, which are these right here, the blog posts. All right, so you can go ahead and edit that as well. And what you do, you click on the post. So this time you're still going to use the still classic blog, but we're going to change it to the left because of course the other way that we have it on the other widget on the other side, it's not plausible for the sidebar, but it's up to you too. If you only want 2 favorites or things like that, you can change it. But in this template, in the Classy Minimalist template, is on the right. You can put it on the left and put the image, but image should go first. So I decided to put 1 column because that's all we need. And the left, and we put the image on the left. And then you could change the image ratio if you want, and you could change the width, the size of it. So I would suggest that you would, change it and update it as you go. You could decide if you want the title, the excerpt, and the read more button. You can decide what you want with that. I decided not to use metadata because I think that's too much information just for a glimpse of something. So I decided not to do that. But if you'd like to, you can put that. And as far as the query is concerned, this is where it's different. So in a few minutes, I'm going to show you how to make a blog article a favorite, which is very easy. But normally make sure the query you include by term. And then under term, you're going to click on tags and favorites. So I'm going to show you how to tag your blogs to make sure, oh, this is a favorite blog of mine. So I'm going to put it in my favorites. And then what it's going to do, it's going to auto populate here. So you don't have to keep coming back here and manually editing it all the time. All right. And basically you follow the same process like we did before to style. You just go here, you can go through the layout, the box, the image, the content the same way that we did before. If you want to add something new, maybe there's an ad you want to have, like that's you want to put in. So maybe you want to put an image, maybe you can go ahead and put that image in there. Find it. Let's say I'm just going to act like we have like a sale or something on cupcakes. Maybe this chocolate cake. Let's act like it had stuff on it. So if I wanted to put this image here, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to make sure I put some space um, between the widget, and I'm going to round the edges. I could style it to match everything. So I'm going to put a border radius um, and things of that nature. I can change the width. I can make it big to fit the whole thing. Let's take a look at how that would look on the blog main page. So to check that, make sure you click update first, and then let's see how it would look with the image I just added. All right, so notice the image is down here. So if it's an ad, so it's already evenly spaced, so I'm not gonna bother it. Okay, so if it was an ad, you would put it there. Okay, so that's how the blog sidebar works. All right. So once you're done with the blog sidebar and you click on update, you can exit out of that and go back to your blog main page. And like I said, there's lots of things you can add on here. Maybe you want to add the about me section in this section as opposed to the home page. You can do that as well. All right. So that's it for editing the blog main page. So next we're going to show you how to edit the blog template post, which is when they click on the blog, how it looks. So for example, when you click on this blog here, we have it already templated. So it's already formatted. All you have to do is come in and put your content, your title, and things of that nature. And notice I told you about that sidebar that shows on every page. So this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay. So same thing, even if I go to recipes, if I go back to blog again, if I go back to blog again and click on a different article, you'll notice that the formatting is the same. So I'm going to show you how to edit the styling of this formatting to format it the way you want. Okay. So let's navigate back to the dashboard, and we're going to go this time to templates and theme builder. And then what we're going to do is go to the Classy Minimalist blog page. That's what it's going to be called originally. But before you edit, make sure you rename it to your brand name. And then you can go ahead and edit. All right. So what you're going to do, just for reference, I want to go back to the main template so I can show you where to find that. All right. So when you first open your blog page, your blog template, it's going to look like this. This is the original. And all you have to do in your case is to change the information, the styling of the information to match your branding. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, just so you know, these are auto-populated, meaning they're different from just a text box or a heading. So you have to make sure you just edit the style of everything. So for example, this is the post information. And what this is the category of whatever you're posting. So you got custom and then post terms. Make sure you understand this part. And then you're going to click on this little wrench right here. And then make sure you put taxonomy categories. That's if that's what you want. If you want to use tags, you can also do that. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right. So that's custom. So they'll put that category up here. Up here is the product title. The post title, I said product, I'm sorry, the post title. Same thing here. If you want to link it to something, that's up to you as well. And post title is also put that. You don't have to worry about this wrench, but I just like to show you that it's there. And then you can always style it. Here is the blog image, the featured image. So it's already connected to whatever information you give it. Here's the date that the post was written. This is your social media links. And down here is your blog content. Okay. So to edit each of these pieces, just simply click on that, go to style, and decide what you want to do. If you want to put it at the start, the center, the end, it's all up to you. If you want a divider, you could put that in there, but I don't recommend you doing that. You could put an icon if you want. You could put the text if you want. The text that you're editing is right here, so I changed it to black and I changed the typography. So that's that. If you want to edit the border color, of course, go to advanced border and go to solid, and then you'll find that there. If you want to remove it, that's up to you as well. If you want to change the style, you can do that. Now to edit the styling of the post title, we do the same thing. The text colors here, the typographies here, we changed it to railway. You can add text shadow, whatever you like, blend mode. I recommend that you leave that, but you can play around with it and see how that looks if you like it. Okay. Of course, the title. Of course, the date. Okay, which that's what it's for here. You can style that here. You could put space between. Sometimes some people like to put more information. So maybe they want to put the date and also the author. They That's up to you as well. You can also put the time, things like that. So there's different things you can do. So it will show here if you want to do that. And to style that, you just simply go here. If there was an icon, you would edit that text. That's how you change the color and the typography. Now, for your share buttons, for each social media platform, you just come in here, you put the network, and if there's a custom label you want to put, you can do that, but that's up to you. You got Twitter and you have LinkedIn. Okay. You could decide if you want to show the icon in text. Maybe you just want to do that. Maybe you want to hide the label. Maybe you want to just show the icon, or maybe you just want to show the text. So it depends what you would like to do. Okay, you can choose a gradient to make it look interesting. You could decide on the shape. Let's do rounded. And columns, you could leave that to auto. In style, you just come here, you put the gaps between each thing. The button size, you can change that here. The icon size. Your primary color, you can put that. Hover color, I did not assign one, but you can do that as well if you'd like. And yeah, that's it. And make sure you put custom, because normally it's going to have the official colors like this. But if you want custom colors to match your branding, you can click on custom. Okay. All right. So that's that. All right, to change your featured image, it's already connected to here, but if you just want to change the styling, so like let's say for example, I wanted to make this circle or something like the rest of everything, I could change the border radius to 200 and I would have a circle one, but I think I like the square for the blog. We'll leave that alone. Okay. Now this is the blog content. To edit what type of typography you want here, just simply go to typography and find the one you want and edit it the way you want. You can change the color and the alignment as well. All right. All right. So you can play around with this part here. You won't be able to see this post navigation here, but you can also put the term, just put post, and I think that'll take care of it. But just try to match your branding as much as possible. If you have more questions about this, you can reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help you. All right, so that's the title, the arrow, and the borders. You can do whatever you like with that. Okay. All right, so that is the template post. So that's how you edit that. So the next thing we're going to do is go to posts right here. And the first thing we're going to do, just like we did with our product pages, is go to categories and edit our categories. So when you first get the template, your categories are going to be the ones that came with it. So you could easily just edit them and change them. So make sure you put the name of your new category, and the slug, make sure it matches the name, but just all lowercase. Like I said, you don't have to put a description and then just click on update. So that's how you update your categories. So once you're done updating your categories, or you can add more categories as well, just like the products. So just put the name, the slug, and then add new category. Once you do that, you're going to have your new ones. So for example, we have our new ones here: cake tips, lifestyle, recipes, and uncategorized is by default. So you have to leave it there. All right. So that's the first thing you have to do. Next thing you have to do is create tags. This is where the whole favorites thing came. Now you could create tags for anything, but I recommend you do this one for sure. The template itself comes with a favorites tag. So it already comes with it here. So all you have to do is you can edit it to something else if you want. But I just wanted to show you that's where it is. If you want to add more tags, this is another way to kind of specifically target a type of um, content. Let's say you're a coach, like a life coach, and you have like different programs for different things. So maybe you might create a tag for each thing. Okay. So you can target specific articles based on that. All right. All right. So now we're ready to add content. So here's our content here. If you want to add a new post, you simply just come here, click on add new, and then you write your title and then just write your content and just have a blast. Okay. There's lots of things you can do with your content. You can put video, you can put images, you could put a heading, you could put a gallery, a list. There's lots of widgets you can go with here. So media design, you could even put different columns if you want to separate them. If you want, you could put different groups. Just lots of interesting widgets. If you want to put a calendar, um, just RSS feed, whatever you like, you can do that as well. Now, there's also patterns as well. Patterns are like different things that you normally would see in a blog, like featured or a gallery or call to action for them to purchase something, or banners at the top, headers, footers, testimonials. You could do that. Things that, will appear on all the blog posts. You can do that as well. Media, you could decide what you want here. So all of that cool stuff is here. You could play around with that and do whatever you'd like. Okay. So let's go to one of the ones that we already did. So let's go to this one. We have 4 here, so you could simply just go into edit and then change the information. Um, so just like I said, put your title, put your content in here and change that. And then once you're done writing your content, make sure you go to post and you're going to scroll down. And then now you have categories here. And then you're going to make sure you put this article in the right category. Okay. And then now if this is a favorite of yours, so it can show up on that sidebar, you're going to go ahead and add a new tag, which is favorite. So you're going to start typing it. And notice it's already there. So you would just click on it. So what this does is when you update this, it's also going to show on the sidebar. Okay. And then next, you're going to change your featured image, which I recommend it to be 1080 by 1080. If you see the photo size chart, you'll see that. So yeah, if you see the photo size chart, you'll see that. And once you're done, you just go ahead and click on update. All right. So when you're done, you could just go ahead and view the post. If you want to view it so you can see how everything looks. So we didn't do too much changing, but that's how it would look. And notice our new article that we just put here, how to bake the ultimate birthday cake. It pops up on our personal favorites automatically. So that's what's cool about this. And yeah, that's it for the blog. And your blog is set up and ready to go. All right. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.